We're gonna make fresh pasta in the office. We gotta do some maximum work for minimal improvement. Now the reason why I'm making fresh pasta is because I just found something in the office that is like amazing at cutting your pasta. Like amazing. I'm kind of forcing this one in. To start, I like to use 2 cups of flour with 3 eggs plus 1 yolk. Flour, you're gonna dump that out. You're gonna make a well in the center. Take these fingers, dust them off like so. We're gonna take about a teaspoon of salt, and we got some olive oil, some finest corner store deli olive oil. It doesn't say extra virgin on it. Let's do about a tablespoon of olive oil. Thing is, was that really a tablespoon? Does anyone really know? And they're like, oh, that's about a tablespoon. I don't know. All right, so we're gonna break these yolks up. I'm using the bottom of my fork right here to kind of see I'm working in flour a little bit at a time. You wanna break that well because, see, it goes all over the place. Look at that, I didn't get, oh! Right when I said, look at that, I didn't get any on myself. I do get that stuff on myself. If you ever want to see a blooper reel, of all the wackadoo stuff that happens that gets on the cutting room floor because people just want to see cooking, write in on the comments below saying, I just want to see this guy act like an idiot for a minute and not cook anything, instead of acting like an idiot while cooking something. We're just going to almost start the kneading process. How do you know when it's ready to go? Well, this skin on the back of your hand has a very specific feel to it, a very specific smoothness. And once this dough feels like the skin on the back of your hand, that's when you know you're good to go. Pasta e carbonara. I can feel it in my hand. It doesn't want to spread as easily. That means it's ready to go. Take some plastic wrap. We're gonna wrap it. And we're gonna take this and we're gonna let it rest in the fridge just a half an hour. But through the magic of video, once rested, like magic, here's the one that's already done. We're gonna make pasta carbonara. What does carbonara need? It needs pork products. We have bacon. Now I know some of you are like, why is it using guanciale? Because bacon's what they had down at the corner store. All these ingredients I'm buying from right outside this office, and we don't have a place that sells guanciale within a block of here. So we're gonna use bacon. I'm gonna take this bacon, I'm gonna put it in my toaster oven, 400 degrees. Boom, let it go. But now, let's work with the dough. Pasta's rested. We're gonna release it from its cage. And let's divide this dough up. We're gonna take 1/4 of it and we're gonna roll it out. Now, offices don't have rolling pins. Sometimes people are like, use a wine bottle. Well, you gotta find the person who has the wine bottle on her desk. Her name is Nancy. It's always Nancy. But I don't have that, so I'm gonna use this complimentary water bottle. Flour the outside of this up. Let's roll this out into something that will begin to almost resemble a noodle. Now remember, this is office edition, so I'm not using a machine to do this. Because a lot of you say, I can't afford all this machinery, I'm not gonna do this with a sous vide machine, I'm not gonna spend 2 hours carving aluminum dangerously to make something out of my grill. Well, this is all stuff that is in our beautiful office. So I got my initial roll done. Let's fold it back up and just like feeding it through the machine, do it one more time. So there we have our pasta sheet. Pasta sheet. Now we can kind of just fold this up and use a knife, but you can do this. And we're not gonna make it that easy. Well, look at this. A paper cutter. I got this idea. I was watching this Japanese master make soba, and it was like so perfect. Like every slice was like perfectly the same size. And I was like, that's amazing. How can I do that? How can I get that precision of the measurements? Paper cutter. We're gonna trim the ends. Boom. Making a flat line. We're gonna move it over 1/2 inch. And then bang, bang. There you go. Fresh pasta in the office, paper cutter. Let's get our bacon going real quick. So on this board, parm, pecorino, eggs, bowl. I'm gonna take this, so let's take this burning hot bacon and let's chop it down. I got some crispy bits in there. I got some still malleable bits in there. We're gonna put it in our bowl. We're gonna leave it, we're gonna cook this pasta real quick. We wanna get everything going while it's still very, very, very hot. How do we boil pasta in the office? You're gonna be like, please do not say microwave. Do not say microwave to cook this pasta. Well, guess what? We're not using a microwave. We're gonna use our friend, the Office tea kettle. Boiling pasta. There's our boiling water. We're gonna season it. Fresh pasta cooks in a very quick amount of time. The starch that is released into the water by the pasta, by the excess bench flour and stuff like that, is gonna help smoothen out the sauce and make it more viscous. Our noodles are beginning to float. We're gonna reserve our pasta water. Pasta goes in the bacon. At this point, I wish I had tongs. And you know what? Let's be a little dangerous. Let's throw a little bit of that bacon fat in there, and let's get the sauce together. So while that's working, let's move very quickly. I'm gonna do 2 eggs in this bowl here. 1, 2, for a little bit of fun, let's add 1 yolk. The hot pasta water that's just boiling, we're using it to temper the eggs so it doesn't scramble when it goes into the noodles. And to this, it's gonna add a little viscosity and a little bit of thickness. Here's some pecorino, here is some parm. We're gonna mix that in, and this is essentially becoming our sauce that we're gonna work into the pasta while it's still hot. Now, while everything is still blazing hot, we're gonna work this into our noodles. Everything is gonna melt together. And those little pepper packets, please use fresh pepper. It tastes way better than this, but there was not fresh pepper within a block of this office. Let's add some salt to finish it off. And this is where tongs would come in handy, but we don't have those, because this is office edition. What you do have is a carbonara made only from office equipment. Rest of the parm, a little on top, a little pecorino, a little on top. Ladies and gentlemen, pasta carbonara using a tea kettle and a paper cutter. You can do this. To learn how to misuse more of your stuff at work, click here. Grounds, I like it strong. Strong like bull. Coffee. So all we gotta do now is get some agua.